Hello, thank you for joining our webinar today. Today we're discussing taking your Vault to the next level with automatic publishing. I'm Kim Hendricks, and my co-presenter is James Jump, and together we'll be walking you through for the next 20-30 minutes on how to take advantage of some automatic publishing that is available with your Autodesk Vault product. A little information about James and I. We combined for 14 years of experience at D3 and well over 30 years in manufacturing and a lot of data management experience. I'll give you just a second to jot down our email addresses in case you have questions after this webinar closes. Feel free to get in touch with us or your local D3 office. Either one is fine. So let's talk about publishing files. So we here at D3, we have partnered with Orange to provide and customize PowerDrops. With PowerDrops, you can set to automatically produce an export type of many file types. So automatic or on-demand publishment, we'll talk about that when I go in to demo it, but these are just some of the examples of some of the files that we can export. PDFs, JPEG, step file, DXF, etc. Fully customizable to your need. So, say you have a sheet metal file, and we know it's a sheet metal file because there's a property in the Vault that says it's a sheet metal file, and every time that file is released, your manufacturing office needs a DXF file to either burn it or cut it or whatever type of processing you're using for that, but you have to have a DXF file or a step file. We can automatically do that upon the release of that file so that you don't have to do it. That's less things that your designers have to do, and it's automatically done. We can send you a notification that it's done. We can set a property on the file that says DXF file was created on such date by this and export it out. We can do all that customizable. So, say you need to publish a PDF on a drawing. We can do that. We can publish that PDF in so many different ways. With all these file types that you see listed here, we have unlimited options on how they are produced, saved, stored, emailed, watermarked, and named. We can name them anything that you want, assuming that that property exists on the file that is mapped to Vault. So say you have a file that is file ABC, Rev C, and its description is I'm a big box. And you want your PDF file to say ABC underscore Rev C underscore I'm a big box .pdf. And on your original file, you want a property set that says I created this PDF file on such date. We can do that. We can do all that because it's all done in scripting. So we would come and talk to you about how you want it done, and we would create those scripts and manage that for you on an annual basis. So let's take a look at, let's think what else you can do with PowerDrops. So publishing files, that's easy. We can do that, and that's what we're talking about today. But just as an added bonus, we can also do other types of jobs once we put PowerDrops on there. Send an email on a lifecycle event. That's not out of the box for Vault. Vault will send an email when change orders are done, but if you just set a file from work in progress to checking, we can say, well, grab this project manager's name from your properties and send him an email that's set to checking. We can do that. We can put a watermark on a PDF that we create that says this file is in check state, and so that nobody builds from it. We can create reports periodically or automatically triggered via email notification. No problem. We can generate them, we can store them out somewhere in PDF, or we can just send them via email. That's all comes with the PowerDrops that's on here. So let's take a look at my Vault. So my Vault is a demo Vault, and take into consideration that my laptop is the server, the client, and the job processor all at once, and we'll talk about those configurations in a minute. But anyway, so I have this file, m-fs-1062, and it's released, and it's at Rev C. If I wanted to, in my sample, it just is going to create a PDF file and put it right there, and I'll do that here in just a second. I can choose in my scripts to grab that release state or that description or that revision or any of these metadata properties that I have over here and add that to the file name or even the directory of where I'm going to put it. So I can create a PDF file that's name is m-fs-1062 underscore revc_front suspicion.pdf, and I can put it here and make an attachment to that file so that they're forever related, or I can put it in another file, or I can put it on a network drive, or I can email it to somebody, and I can decide whether those files are managed or not managed outside of here. I can even create a property inside a Vault on this drawing that says PDF created, and when I create that PDF successfully, I can populate that property that says a PDF was created on such date and successfully, or by whomever that sent that job to that. So if you are the job processor machine, you have a special button on your Vault client. Now, that's not on all machines, just the job processor machine, and it's kind of used for debugging and such, and it says PowerDrops, and I can create a PDF, and I can go to the job dialog, and I can pick any of my files that I have out there. But for this one, we also have them set to go in life cycles. And if you don't know what life cycles are, we can talk about that on another date. But this one is set to release. And if I change its state back to work in progress, it'll bump my rev automatically because that's how my life cycle is set. So it's going to set this back to a work in progress state and set it to rev D. So now that this file is in work in progress and it upped the revision to Rev D, I can edit this file. So now I can check it out and change it, and because we don't want people messing with files that are released, right? So I moved it back to work in progress. I've worked on it. If I was the checker, I could put it, if this was normal, I'd put it to review and a checker would check it. We'd go back and forth for a little while. And when it's done, we'll do a little cooking show demo and we'll go straight to release. So we'll set it to released and say okay. And in the background, so now it's set that to release, it's locked the file. In the background, it's set off a queue. So if I go look at my job queue, you can see that it set off a bunch of stuff. Synchronize properties on all these files and create PDFs on all these files, right? So that's a job queue. Now on my system, I am the job processor as well, and the job processor looks like this, and we'll talk about those setups in a minute. So a little cooking show demo, we're going to pause it. It would run every 10 minutes, so I could sit here and wait about 10 minutes, and then it would fire off, or I can pause it and resume it again so we don't have to wait 10 minutes. So it'll start running these jobs. It's going to synchronize all the properties, it's going to create my visualization files, and I don't have to do any of that as a designer when I check those files in. This is happening all in the background, all in a job processor machine, and it's not taking my designer's time to do it. So once it finishes all these jobs, and these are standard Autodesk Vault jobs right here that are running, in just a second you'll see the processing down here for my custom ones. When I start creating PDF files, it will show me info down there because I have those scripts set to write to my log file. So let's let those get through. So it's creating the DWIFs of all my IPNs and that's set in my life cycle, right? I can set transition states in every life cycle to create a DWIF file that needed, update the revision block as you're seeing now, do all those kind of things in the background, synchronize properties so that all the DWIFs and everything are current. And it's going to update the revision block. And we want to do all that stuff before we create the PDF file, right? We want PDF to be last. So we set those priorities on our job, and here's the PDF we're being created. And you can see that it's telling me I'm starting Inventor with version 2017. I started the job create PDF as attachment. I started the export for the file, so I'm exporting it to PDF file, and then I completed it. And then it's attempting to create PDFs on a bunch of IPTs, IAMs, but it ignores those because we don't support that. We don't need a PDF of a part or a presentation file or an assembly. We only want them on DWGs and IDWs. But so it just fails on those jobs on purpose. So now that that's done, if I move my PowerDrops over here and I go back to my Vault, I'm going to hit refresh. And you can see that this file has a PDF now with it. And it's attached. So if I click on this file and see my uses, I'll see some attachments. And there's my attachment of that file. I have it now set to just say it's a .dwg.pdf and what date I did it and who generated it. If I click on the PDF itself, it takes on a life of its own also. So it has where used, and it's going to have its attachments because it's joined to that drawing, so I know where it came from. I can even create change orders and stuff on that. I can preview that file, and there's the PDF. So that's how it creates it. Now remember, I have tons of options on how you want to do it. And maybe straight out of the box is all you want. I want a PDF file in the exact same folder. Most people don't do it that way. Most of them want it a little bit different and customized to their own way. So let's talk about how that's set up. So let's move on. So PowerDrops. It can be done, scenario 1 can be set up on a dedicated machine. On that dedicated machine, sitting over in the corner or on somebody's side desk, you would need to have your CAD application, your Vault client, and PowerDrops installed. PowerDrops is licensed per job processor, and it would run almost immediately. They're set to run every 10 minutes or so, and but we can massage that time, or we can do what I just did and pause it if it needs to be run right then. We can stop it and resume it, and it'll run everything that's in the queue. But it does require, the downside to this scenario is it does require a dedicated CAD and Vault license. If you don't have spare licenses or you're not using a shared pool of network licenses, then maybe a dedicated machine's not for you, and we can move to scenario 2, which means we put this PowerDrop on somebody's workstation. And that means that it doesn't require an additional Autodesk license. That's the upside. The downside is it may not be immediately. Maybe it is. Maybe it runs immediately in somebody's background because they're a purchaser that happens to have the CAD stuff on their system, and they don't use that all the time, so they can run in the background every 10 minutes, and they wouldn't notice it too much. If you are heavy use and heavy licensing, then you can start it at lunch and let it catch up on the queue, and then maybe at 5 o'clock let it run all night and catch up on the queue. So there's 2 different ways that we can do that. And again, this is totally customizable. So our process would be, say you said, okay, this is perfect for me, and I need to add publishing to my Vault. You would get a hold of your local D3 person, and we would have a conversation with you and your engineering team. Kind of a scope, for lack of a better word. And we'd say, okay, how do you want these files created? Do you want a PDF file when it's this type of file? You want and if the name of the file starts with a P, you want it to go in a production folder. And if it starts with a T, you want it to go in a tooling folder, or you want it named with the revision or not the revision. If you want it set off to some SharePoint folder where it can be imported into SharePoint, we would configure all of that, and we would do it in a test environment on our system, test it for you, set it up on the life cycles that you need, and then publish it for you on your system. So with that, I'll open it up for questions or comments. James Young will be taking your questions today, and if you have anything after this webinar closes, please feel free to give us a call or email. We'd love to hear from you. Thanks so much, and have a great day.